don't. Not after that.
No one was seeking the call. I was going to walk out.
Call, Mr. President, I want to commend the Transport Minister, the Honourable Andrew Constance, for concluding the difficult settlement with the builders of the City East Light Rail project and ending the uncertainty around this long-anticipated and exciting new public transport service. As a member of the Upper House Committee that inquired into the Light Rail project, I'm fully across the complexity of this project and the disputes that were involved. And as a former City of Sydney councillor for more than 12 years, I know firsthand how difficult it is to develop any property in the city, let alone retrofit a major piece of complex modern engineering into our crowded and frankly piecemeal planned and mapped city. I recall it was common practice for the City of Sydney to allow significant contingencies for unforeseen costs associated with building infrastructure like footpaths, roads, malls, parks, swimming pools and libraries in the city's environment. And yes, the city wound up with cost overruns and disputes with contractors in court on a number of occasions, usually settled through dispute resolution negotiations such as these. So, Mr. President, whilst it is regrettable that the government has been forced to settle this dispute at some cost to the taxpayers of New South Wales, it should be remembered that it pales against the $400 million wasted as compensation by those opposite for the cancelled and botched CBD Metro project. But let's all put this in context, Mr. President. I stand here as a proud member of government that has the economy and the state finances running so well that it can invest a record amount in infrastructure in New South Wales, all without $1 of debt, the envy of Australia. New South Wales Government's investment in infrastructure is unmatched, with $87 billion to be invested over the next 4 years, and that's on top of $110 billion already invested since we were elected. When it comes to infrastructure, this government is getting on with the job. We have delivered unprecedented improvements to transport infrastructure with 5 stages of the Metro project, 3 stages of light rail projects and the missing motorways such as the North Connects with another harbour crossing and the mighty West Connects project. This government has invested $1.5 billion in more trains and services and has added to public transport services with over 30,000 new weekly train, bus, ferry and light rail services in the state. The government has also delivered other rail infrastructure ranging in scale from the South West Rail Link to the Wynyard Walk. Other public transport infrastructure commitments delivered include the Opal Card, the popular Beeline bus service, 47 train station upgrades with 10 more underway at the moment, and of course the upgrades of Central and Redfern stations. 6,000 additional commuter car parks and another 8,000 under construction. New state-of-the-art intercity trains to Wollongong, Newcastle and the Blue Mountains, the latter replacing the 40-year-old V-sets. And a new XPT train fleet for the country passengers, including a huge maintenance centre depot built at Dubbo, creating jobs for the regions. Let me turn now to the most exciting project, Metro Rail. 8 years after the commitment to deliver the Metro, and with the hard work and disciplined focus, the project is now a reality at Stage 1. Rouse Hill to Chatswood opened last month, delivered ahead of time and, incredibly, $1 billion under budget. On the first Monday morning peak hour of operation, the line saw a staggering 21,000 passengers, and the numbers are continuing to grow daily. It was the vision of the Premier today and as Transport Minister before to provide the Metro to the people of New South Wales despite many objections. Stage 2 of this Metro, the City and South West line is planned to open by 2024 and will extend through to Bankstown and hopefully Liverpool in the future. The next stage, the West Metro from the CBD to Parramatta, is expected to be completed just a few years after that. I'd like just quickly to turn to the light rail projects. The New South Wales Government is in the process of delivering light rail projects in the CBD, South East, Newcastle and Parramatta. Starting with the CBD light rail project, the first stage of this project from Circular Quay to Randwick is scheduled to open in December, while the Randwick to Kingswood branch is scheduled to open in March next year. There is no doubt, absolutely no doubt, it will be a huge public transport success. The Newcastle light rail was opened by the Premier and the Minister for Transport in February, a project that has delivered on time and on budget with more than 250,000 passengers in just the first few months on operation, a number that has continued to grow. This project defies the critics, including those opposite, who said it was a white elephant. This light rail is part of the New South Wales Government's commitment to revitalising Newcastle, delivering more than $650 million investment, encouraging growth in the city, helping Newcastle thrive in the future. It's a true renaissance underway in Newcastle. Now, the Parramatta light rail will begin this year, including construction works, road network upgrades, new bridges, active transport links, urban design and changes to bus networks, with operations expected to begin in 2023. This will be an expected infrastructure investment of $2.46 billion into a project that will further cement Parramatta as the capital of Western Sydney and be an anchor for future development. Mr. President, the Berejiklian government is delivering on a vision for transport reform in New South Wales, a vision for real long-term strategic investment in public transport in balance with all other transport priorities. It is no longer roads or public transport, it's now a balanced partnership. We can have it all, Mr. President. As I outlined in the opening of this contribution, is not without difficulties or controversy that can be cynically exploited by those opposite. Yet again, it's a huge advancement for the state and the people of New South Wales. A new century vision for transport that will make Bradfield proud. In March, the people of New South Wales gave our vision a big tick. They endorsed our hard work and gave us authority to get on with the job. History will judge this government as a positive light as it has the vision of Bradfield.
The Honourable